What is up, guys? Pie Muffin here, and we are back with some more Trails of Cold Steel. So, it is time for our Chapter 5 field study. We are heading to Legram with Reen, Laura, Milliam, Eustace, Emma, and Gaius. This is our group for our field study over in Legram. So, we're going to hop on the train and head on over there. We'll spend 2 days in Legram, which is Laura's hometown. And then after those 2 days, we are going to be making our way to Guerrilla Fortress for the rest of our field study this month. So we'll see what's going to happen this time. So let's get started. Enter Trista Station. Yep, let's do it. We need to change trains at Barrier Hard to get to Legram, right? I suppose it'd be better for us to take the Cruisin' main line than the transcontinental line, then. Right, after reaching Barrier Hard, we'll need to transfer to a local line, the Ebel branch line. There's only one train every 2 hours, so I'm hoping we can time our arrivals to avoid a lengthy wait. It's exactly 7 a.m. right now. We should arrive in Barrier Hard somewhere around 10:30 and reach Legram by noon. We've got work waiting for us the first day too, so the earlier we can reach Legram, the better. Agreed. There's always a chance our class problem child will make another scene. Hee hee hee. Oh, you guys are here earlier than I expected. You all ready to leave too? Nah, we still got another 20 minutes or so until the next train to Barrier Hard comes in. You're all going to the Jedi SEZ, right? I've never been, but it sounds kind of fun. It's apparently quite a trip to get there, though. It's on the Empire's northwest coast. You have to cross the entire Lamar province to get there. Well, it's not often you go like this on a nice long trip like this. But worry not, the hours will just fly by as I teach you all about how to be as cool and popular as I am. Yeah, thanks, but I think I'll just take a nap instead. Passenger service bound for Heimdall. Okay, here we go. It's gonna go on its own. That's fine. We'll see you in 2 days then. See you at Guerrilla Fortress. Bye. Have a safe trip. See you later, Elliot. Later, Machias. And Crow, at least make a token attempt to stay out of trouble. No worries, if you hear about it, it means I wasn't at the top of my game. One of these days, Reen, you'll thirst for my life of adventure. Right. Alright, good luck, guys. Try not to, drive everyone crazy for the next 2 days. Okie dokie. Why do I not find that the slightest bit reassuring? You took the words right out of my mouth. May the guidance of the winds and the goddess be with you all. I look forward to seeing you again in 2 days. At least this is our first chapter where no one is at odds with each other. We still have a short while longer before our train arrives. We ought to purchase our tickets now while we're waiting. Sounds like a plan to me. Good morning, everyone. Group A is heading to Legram, correct? Yes, that's right. We'd like to purchase tickets to Legram via Barrier Hard. Coming right up. Do you want them right away? Yep. Okay, that's 6 passengers bound for Legram via Barrier Hard. I'll have those tickets ready for you in just a moment. Oh, you're all heading out? What? Lecter? Isn't that... Huh? What are you doing here, Lecter? You missed me already? Sure did. I'm gonna be back in Crossbell starting the day after tomorrow. Well, that gives you the confirmation that Lecter will be there during the trade conference. Might never have had the chance to see you again this lifetime, so I figured I'd drop by and say hello. Psh, whatever. You're so silly. There's no way you or Gramps would die that easily. The old goat might scare off the Reaper, but I'm pretty weak, you know. Who is he? Captain Lecter Arundel of the Imperial Intelligence Division. We saw him while we were on our field study in Nord. He's the one supposedly responsible for negotiating with the Republic's army to prevent war from breaking out, but... so he's the Iron Blood they call Scarecrow. Did we just see Celine just run by? I swear we just did. I have to admit, he doesn't look like someone who specializes in espionage. Well, I'm sure this little drop of sunshine's got suspicious written all over her, but I hope you're getting along. Don't hesitate to give her a good spanking if she causes too much trouble, though. Okay. We'll try our best to be a welcoming class. I'm not gonna cause them any trouble. Unlike you, I'm a little angel. What kind of little angel would casually whip out something like Argetlem in public? Do you have any idea how much overtime we put in just covering up for you? Huh? You do? Yep, it's time for us to get on our train. If you'll excuse us, Captain. I'm afraid we need to catch this train. Sure thing. Good luck out there, guys. Oh, and by the way, I'd prefer if you referred to me as Secretary rather than Captain in public. After all, I am a second secretary for the Imperial government. I see. Well then, if you'll excuse us, Mr. Secretary, you better bring me back a souvenir from Crossbell. Not gonna forget that we saw Celine run by. Okay. Isn't it a fast-moving train, though? Can Celine really hold on? Haha, they seem like an even more interesting bunch than I'd heard. Hope she gets a chance to soak in the good times of school like I did. We're thinking back to Sky the Third. Well, for two Iron Bloods, you two have a pretty cozy thing going. Uh-oh, looks like a scary lady's got me in her sights. Time to make my exit. Not so fast. Didn't you have something you were supposed to give me? Come on, cough it up. Heh, they don't call you the Purple Lightning for nothing. Maybe you should consider giving up this teaching gig and come work for us. I'll bet we could offer double what the Academy's paying you, no sweat. Aw, strictly business, huh? Obviously. I'm not getting any younger here. Hand it over. This is the list of every member of the Imperial Liberation Front that we're aware of at present. We've made progress in identifying their top figures, too. I see. I suppose I should thank you. Oh, one more thing. Claire had a message she wanted me to pass along. I'm listening. Their primary target is Crossbell City, but there's a chance that something else will be going down within the Empire at the same time. Those were her words. Safe to assume the trade conference is, I mean, we already know that Gideon guy is heading to Crossbell to do something at the trade conference. Is Celine still on top of the train? I don't see her. So she must have snuck in at some point. Keldic, we haven't been here in a while. Many, many months ago. Wow, it's like a sea of green out there. Hey, Eustace, why is all the wheat green? Wheat, barley, and rye are all cultivated in the Cruzen province. Each is grown in its season, which means that what you're seeing right now is the fall wheat crop. Oh look, there's a weird scarecrow. Aha, look at its head, it looks all messy like Lecter's. Ugh. Well, as long as she's enjoying herself. At times like these, she seems like any girl her age. It's still hard to believe she's only 13. It's a year younger than my brother. It really puts things into perspective, doesn't it? I suppose this is a good time as any to tell you more about where we'll be conducting our next field study. Legram is a small town in the southeast of the Empire, situated on the shore of Lake Ebel. My father, Viscount Arsaid, governs the town, which itself is part of the Karuzan province. That sounds familiar. If I'm not mistaken, isn't that the province Eustace's father oversees? Well, technically, yes. But Legram is known for being a particularly self-reliant region. I doubt the Viscount has much interest in the authority of his liege lord. I suppose I cannot deny it. My father can be a little too free-spirited at times. But I can't help but feel your father's governance has its own issues, especially where taxation is concerned. It's not as though I'm unaware of that. Sorry, I seem to have touched on a sensitive issue there. No, there's nothing for you to apologize for. Exchanges like this are daily bread of the nobility. It's true that the four great houses do have immense power, but it's still up to the individual feudal lords to govern their respective regions. As far as taxation goes, each region has its own statutes, which makes the whole situation even more complicated. It is quite convoluted, although the imperial government does seem to be attempting to unify all regions under a single tax system. That's one of the major points of dispute between the two factions. Incidentally, my father's stance on the matter is hell will freeze over before I consent to it. I do understand the reformist point of view, but each region of the Empire has its own traditions and customs. Attempting to normalize all of those under a single system seems a little insensitive. The more you tell me, the more complicated it sounds. Well, it's certainly not an issue with a nice, clear-cut solution. This is boring. Don't you have any more cool stories about Legram? I suppose a couple students batting around ideas about taxation isn't going to really solve anything. But I guess, to me, one of the things Legram is most famous for is the Arsaid School. Oh, isn't that the thing Laura's dad teaches? That's the one. The Arsaid School of Swordsmanship is the style passed down by the ancient knights of Erebonia. It's one of the two most famous martial styles in the Empire, the other being the Vander School. Of course. I've heard that there's a training hall where students from the Arsaid School come from all over the Empire to train. Indeed there is. Several students of the school are studying in Legram at the moment. The rest are scattered throughout the Empire. And Laura's father instructs them all? He does. Viscount Arsaid is not only the Lord of Legram, he's also the current head of the Arsaid School. Oh, doesn't he have some super cool title like the Radiant Blade Master or something? He sounds crazy strong. This may sound unseemly coming from his daughter, but his strength is, quite frankly, inhuman. I would easily place him among the 3 strongest people in the Empire. Sounds like an incredible guy. I've heard plenty of rumors about his strength myself. From what I understand, he acts as a combat instructor for this nation's armies, both provincial and imperial. Though, as a result, I hear he spends a significant amount of time away from his territory. This is unfortunately the case. We may be visiting my home, but there's no guarantee my father will even be there. I see. That's a shame. I'd really like to meet him. Alright, talking time. We got more talking this time since we have an extra member. Oh yes, when we reach Legram, I'd like a favor to ask you all. A favor? I was hoping it would be possible for you to show your respective styles to the Arsaid School students. This group has practitioners of the 8 Leaves, 1 Blade School, court fencing, and spearmen alike. And I have no doubt each would be of interest to students of the martial arts. Perhaps so. The chance to learn more about other schools might broaden our own horizons, too. Are you sure my spearmanship would be an interest in them, though? Both Reen and Eustace at least use swords. Certainly, the Arsaid School teaches more than just swordplay. While some use two-handed swords like myself, others use spears and even bows. Perhaps even Emma's orbital staff may be of interest. You think? I don't know about that. Hey, what about me? What about me? Lemmy's really strong too. True, but it's just raw strength. There's no skill or technique involved. I concur. Watching our Getlem wouldn't afford the students any chance to learn new techniques of their own. Boo, you meanies. No fair leaving me out. Anyway, I do think it would be a nice gesture, but that's assuming we get the chance before our field study is over. Of course, I look forward to it if we do. Lavender. Surely it's just a coincidence. It has to be. What's wrong, Emma? Are you getting motion sickness or something? No, I'm fine. I was just wondering if we might be able to see Legram Castle while we're in Legram. Oh, the castle that came up in Instructor Thomas's lesson the other day. Weather permitting, it can be seen quite clearly. It's surrounded by mist more often than not, but its imagery has its own appeal as well. Oh wow, that actually sounds pretty neat. Yeah, it does. I was just thinking it'd be nice if we could apply some of the knowledge we learned in class to our field study, don't you think? Yeah, it would be. We still have some time before we reach Berryhard, but we'll be changing trains as soon as we arrive, so make sure you're ready. I will be, though it's a shame we won't have time to stick around for a while. I would have liked to see Rufus again if we had the chance. I'm sure he's much too busy for that anyway. And it hardly seems appropriate to return home now, after I chose not to during the summer. Haha, that is a good point. Something on your mind? I'm just wondering what my family and the other nobles are doing at the moment. This past month, they have been a little overly quiet. Now that you mention it, I haven't heard of any major conflicts between the two factions lately at all. Maybe they're just showing some restraint for a while? After all the craziness that happened at the festival last month. Neither faction is considerate enough to avoid conflict over something so trite. I suppose I should just try to focus on our field study and not concern myself with matters beyond my control. Haha, yeah, I think that'd be a good idea. The issue of regional cultural heritage is quite a profound one. So profound to have its own tax implications. Well, the desire to preserve the region's traditions and heritage is pretty important in most places throughout the Empire. Like the old animist traditions in Legram, I hear a lot of those are still around. Indeed, no doubt you will see many of them firsthand during our stay. Countless anecdotes regarding Lance Maiden remain as well. Sounds like Legram has a lot in common with my home in Nord. Our cultures and traditions may differ, but we worship the same goddess and spirits. I think that's a fact many Erebonians are starting to forget. And if you ask me, those traditions are worth protecting, even if it means a little extra money goes to taxes. Yes, I feel the same. It seems there will be much to learn during this month's field study. And lastly, our sunshine child. Haha, look at all the trees going past the window. This is so cool. I want to ride more trains like this. It's really fun. Really now, I'm kind of surprised. I assume being in the intelligence division meant you take trains all the time. Well, I usually just ride on Lammy when I'm out on a mission. And the super fast train Claire and the others in the RMPUs don't have any windows. And Gramps' special train is too fancy, so you can't really relax. Huh, interesting. It's not often you get to ride a regular train like this then, is it? But if you get too excited here, you're not going to have much excitement left for when we reach our destination. Especially considering how early you got up this morning. But I was so excited I could barely sleep. I'll be fine. I've still got plenty of energy. And she's out. What was I saying? See, told you. We'll be at Berryhard soon, so try to get some sleep on the next train, okay? Okay. Haha, at times like this, she really is just like any other 13-year-old. Yep, and she's out. Alright. Well, I guess let's continue. So this should be right when they're arriving at Berryhard. Yep. Berryhard, here we are. Finally. We have to change trains here, right? That's right, a train bound for Legram should be arriving in about 10 minutes. We need to hurry if we want to board it in time. That's too bad, I was kind of hoping for the chance to poke around Berryhard. Oh yeah, it's your first time in Berryhard, isn't it? I'd be glad to show you around, should the opportunity arise. You did graciously open your home to us in Nord, after all. Not sure Eustace's father would be as nice. All right, let's switch. Oh, so I guess this is the train over here. Just immediately from one train to the other. How convenient. Celine, hello. There we go, Legram down here. Seems like a much shorter distance to Legram from Berryhard than it was from Trista to Berryhard. Milliam's asleep again. Wow, this forest is really dense. It's almost like a scene from a picture book, as though if you kept very quiet, fairies might come out to play. It might not come as a surprise that there are many such legends in this region. The Lance Maiden, Leanne Sandlot, was born in Legram. But because of her preternatural strength and beauty, some believed her a changeling, switched at birth by the fairies. Alright? Really fascinating. The reality is a bit less rosy. The family line of Count Sandlot came to an end when she died under mysterious circumstances. After the War of the Lions, it's hardly surprising that such tales have persisted. A changeling, huh? Oh. Look at that fog. It came so suddenly. Well, Legram is known for its fog, among other things. It's not all uncommon for this time of year. The fog does help keep the temperature cooler during the summer, though. Haha, in that case, bring on the fog. No, Lammy, you can't smash that. Just be glad she can't, like, sleep attack. Like, call out Lammy in her sleep and just start smashing things. Legram Station. Yeah, it really is foggy here. Whoa! Legram. From what I recall, I think it is kind of a smaller town than, like, Berryhard and stuff, which makes sense. It's stunning. This is the first time I visited Legram, but it's every bit as beautiful as I've been led to believe. So this is the town of Mist in ancient legends. I'm pleased you seem to have taken a liking to it. Unfortunately, the mist does hinder the visibility. On a clear day, the surface of the lake gleams like a polished mirror. Fog or no, it's breathtaking all the same. Welcome home, my lady. What? How long have you been there? Interesting, I couldn't sense him coming at all. I have returned, Klaus. I see your proficiency in the art of concealment has not diminished in my time away from home. Haha, on the contrary, my age has begun to get the better of me, I'm afraid. Watching you grow and mature is the only joy left to an old man like me. Haha, surely you jest. Can I assume Father not coming to meet us means he's currently away from Legram? I'm afraid so. He also mentioned he was unsure when he might return. I did expect that would be the case. Nonetheless, allow me to introduce you, everyone. This is Klaus. Klaus? The Arcade family steward. He fills in for my father in his absence and serves as acting master of the Arcade School of Swordsmanship. The acting master? Sounds like an amazing old guy. Haha. Butler Klaus. I trust you all had a pleasant trip, ladies and gentlemen of Class 7. Let me be the first to welcome you to Legram. If you'll come with me, I'll escort you to the mansion. Still, it doesn't look like the years have really changed too much here. It's like walking into a bygone era. You could really see the influence of animism in the region, too. Just look at the stone monument. I believe that was built long before the Arcade family was entrusted with the governance of this region, which would make it several hundred years old at the very least. It has a rather strange shape, too. Ooh, what's that? It appears to be a statue of the Lance Maiden. That's right, the center statue is the Lance Maiden herself, while those beside her are her two Eisenritter, rather. I believe these were made over 200 years ago as well. Indeed, tradition holds... excuse me. Tradition holds that they were constructed to honor the achievements of Saint Sandlot. Incidentally, the knight kneeling to the lower right is the ancestor of the Viscount. So that's Laura's great-great-great-grandfather, huh? Haha, you'll need a few more greats. We're about 10 generations apart. Lady Laura, I'm so pleased to see you back in Legram. The Viscount did mention that you'd be returning. I'm so happy to see you again, Lady Laura. I'm glad to see you're all well. I'm just back for 2 or 3 days on a field study as part of my coursework at the Academy. I'll be sure to visit more with each of you later. Of course, please do. I'd love to hear all about how life at the Academy's been treating you. Hehe, she seems to be quite popular around here. Yeah, it looks like the Viscount's family has built up a good relationship with the people of Legram. Which Eustace probably wishes his family would do. Bracer Guild? Oh, hey! Looks like they finally showed up. Well, it's been pretty busy around here lately. I could use the help. Oh. Huh? Oh well, guess I'll go over their tasks one more time just to be sure. I can hear the ring of steels on steel. Undoubtedly, the sound of swords crossing. So this must be the Arcade School training hall. Indeed it is. I have more memories in this building than I could possibly count. Although many of them involve being soundly defeated by my father, or Klaus. Haha, my apologies, my lady. Well, it's pretty apparent he's not your run-of-the-mill butler. You can tell by the way he carries himself. He has a master's poise. And this is Viscount Arsade's mansion. Wow, so this is where Laura lives. You'd expect nothing less from a Viscount. And it seems to be built on a hill overlooking the town, too. It was originally built with the intent that it could function as a stronghold should the need ever arise. Welcome to the home of Viscount Arsade. Allow me to show you around in my father's stead. That sounds nice. Very pretty. Oh, I assume we're going to be staying here? We're so used to staying in a hotel whenever we visit, but... Wow! What an incredible view. It's so beautiful. It's not often I take in a view this spectacular. Say, is that... Whoa, a castle. Ah, that must be Legram's famous landmark. Indeed, that's Lohengrin Castle. During the War of the Lions, it served as a Lance Maiden stronghold. A saint's castle towering on the shore of a shimmering lake. Just seeing it there in all its majesty makes me want to set brush to canvas. It does seem like a scene tailor-made for painting. I agree, but there'll be plenty of time to take in the scenery later. Right now, we need to go pick up our list of field study tasks. Oh, right. Are you the one who prepared our task for us, Klaus? Actually, the assigning of your duties here has been entrusted to a professional. A professional at what? Can you elaborate? Head to the Bracer Guild in the town central plaza. At the master's behest, they have taken on the responsibility of preparing all the tasks for your field study here. The Bracer Guild? There's a branch here in Legram? Indeed, there's been a small branch of the guild in this town for many years. My family has a good relationship with the guild. They've done much for us and the town over the years. Oh, really? Well, whatever. Not like they asked me to do anything. What are you babbling on about? Nothing much. Just thinking out loud. I assume she's referring to, like, you know, how Osborne doesn't really want Bracer Guilds around, so Milliam's not going to make a fuss about it. Anyway, it looks like we need to pay a visit to the guild. Yeah, I'd like to get through as many of the today's tasks as we can. We'll be taking our leave now, Klaus. Of course, please take care, everyone. Well, there you have it. I was actually expecting us to get here faster, but it didn't seem like that was the case. I think we can at least grab our... Where are we? Oh, this is part of the mansion. Okay. I'm so pleased to see that Lady Laura has finally returned home. We'll only be in Legram a couple days, but thank you for your care, Prana. I do hope you and your friends find some time during your visit to relax. I have every intention of serving you all to the best of my abilities. What a nice maid. Of course, I'll want to stop by the weapon and armor shop at some point so we can upgrade a bit. But I guess first things first, let's head over to the Bracer Guild. That seems to be the church. Oh, Lady Laura, I'm so pleased to see you've returned. Don't hesitate to ask me if you need any assistance at all. I'll be there to support you, whatever the endeavor may be. Thank you, Chloe. I appreciate your generosity. It's my honor. I feel I must ask, though, just who are these disgusting cretins you have in tow? Are you talking about my classmates? Oh, Eidos, why must such filth be allowed to fester within the sight of Lady Laura's maidenly grace? Listen up, you three. Oh, she's talking to the boys. Make sure to keep appropriate distance from Lady Laura at all times, understood? Yeah, I'm afraid that's going to prove a little difficult. What an irksome well. My apologies, she seems to have be misunderstanding the situation. Uh-huh.
縁に十字か。どんな意味があるんだ？
さて、諸説はあるが、どれも定かではないらしい。
精霊信仰におけるシンボルの意味はほとんど失われているそうですから。
Interesting. Alright.
この建物が遊撃士協会レグラム支部になる。
Oh, the guild emblem. I must not have noticed it earlier with all the mist. Strange. The branches in the capital were closed due to political pressure, but this one seems to be active. The Legram branch continues to operate as it always has. That's why I was rather surprised to find out the capital's branches were no longer active. Come to think of it, we met a bracer back when we were in Barrierheart for a field study. But I saw no signs of a guild branch there either. It was closed a year ago, though as I understand it, the pressure to close came from the Duke's household, not the Imperial government. Is that so? Well, bracers are an eyesore to most of those well-to-do types. They don't bow to authority and you can't bribe them with Mira. They're all about protecting civilians. Give them any excuse to lean on the bracers to get them out of the picture, and that's exactly what they're gonna do. Milliam, that's kind of... Heh, you don't mince words, do you? Choice words coming from an intelligence division operative. Do you think you're not complicit in this? Well, it's less us and more Gramps. He went barging into the branches in the capital himself and started telling them what they could and couldn't do. Wow. That explains the instructor's frosty temperament towards him. Man, you guys sure know how to poke a guy where it hurts, don't you? Oh, now there's a familiar face. I'm pleased to see you again, Toval. Oh, you know each other? Nah, we just ran into each other a couple months ago. Long time no see, Laura. Sounds like Sarah's keeping your nose to the grindstone, huh? Wait, so... You must be a former associate of our instructor, I take it. Pretty much. Bracer Toval. I'm Toval Randiner, a bracer with the guild here in the Empire. Good to meet you, ladies and gents of Class 7. Wait a minute. So it wasn't a coincidence that we ran into you in Barrierheart? Bingo, Sarah told me you were going to be there. She wanted me to keep an eye out for you and step in if you got in a real tight spot. But she insisted I play it casual and not give myself away. Man, that part was a lot harder than I thought it'd be. I had no idea. Thank you so much for all your assistance back then. Yeah, we wouldn't have been able to bust Machias out without your help. You may not have directly assisted me, but I suppose you have my thanks nonetheless. Haha, you're welcome. Sarah's repaid that debt in full, though, so don't worry about it. Interesting, I had no idea you'd already met some of the members of our class. Incidentally, Toval, the guild's standing here in Erebonius certainly seems to have shifted over the past 2 years. Heh, no doubt, basically every branch here in the Empire was shut down after the government started putting pressure on us. Some of us found work in a different field, like Sarah, others transferred to branches outside the country. But we all agreed to get back together if we can ever resume operations in Erebonia again. Until then, we're just trying to keep a low profile, scraping out a living for ourselves. Sounds like a difficult life. Still, with the guild having to decrease its presence, isn't there more than enough work for the remaining branches? I wish. The RMP deals with a lot of the stuff we would have handled before. Your little lady friends in particular, your little lady's friend in particular keeps herself pretty busy. Oh, you mean Claire? Yep, she sure is a hard worker. Although with all the time she spends on work, it's no wonder she doesn't have a boyfriend. Milliam, I'm not sure you should go around sharing the details of people's private lives without their consent. Haha, Well, I find enough work to keep the lights on here anyway. And this branch has the Viscount's approval, so we can display our sign without getting in trouble. So that's how it is. Well, it's nice to hear that the Viscount seems pretty supportive of the guild. He seems to find himself in the Bracer's way of life. Self-reliance, pride, a focus on helping others. He's long said if he were free of other responsibilities, he would have joined the guild and worked as a Bracer himself. Oh my, that seems very... I hardly think a man who owns a territory in the Empire could just up and join the Bracers. The Radiant Blade Master himself is a Bracer, huh? In terms of strength and standing, he's probably on par with Cassius Bright. I bet he'd make S-class, S-rank right on the spot. I'm sure he knows about Cassius. You know Cassius Bright? I believe he's currently a Brigadier General in the Liberalian Army, as well as the bearer of the title Divine Blade. Heh, guess I should expect no less from a member of the Intelligence Division. Anyway, that's I love that they referenced Cassius right there. Anyway, that's how the Viscount ended up asking me to sort out some tasks for your field study. Let me give those to you now. How many for the first day? Okay, only 3. Replace Orbman lights along the highway, again. Ebel Highway Monster, and Training Bout, okay. Study areas define a 200 cells radius around Legram. Each student, yeah. Oh, so this is how your field studies go. Generally, yeah. Should we come back tomorrow to pick up the next set of tasks then? Yep, I got some more work I could use your help with. We're pretty short-handed here, so we got a real monster of a backlog building up. I'm counting on you to pave the way to Easy Street for me, okay? Haha, will do. Alright then, let's waste no time in getting started. Looks like one of these requests is from the training hall. It seems to be from Klaus. Got a monster extermination request too, so we'll have to head out onto the highway for that one. It would be nice if we could cover as many of the town people's requests as possible too. This is so cool! Alright, well there you have it. So, next time we're going to get started on these day 1 field study tasks in Legram. You know, start to get a feel of the area. Seems to be a much cooler area than the hot summers we've been dealing with over in Trista, so that'll be nice. But that's going to be it, guys. Hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to subscribe more if you're new to the channel. I'll see you all next time. Have a wonderful day, everyone.